The Jeffersons made America laugh for more than a decade. Some rose higher than ever imagined. Some vanished quietly. Others never escaped the shadows of their most famous roles. This is what really happened to the cast of The Jeffersons. Then and now. Sherman Hemsley as George Jefferson. When The Jeffersons premiered in 1975, Hemsley was 37 years old, stepping fully into the role of George Jefferson, a loud, ambitious, unapologetically wealthy black businessman. After The Jeffersons ended in 1985, he found steady work in Amen, another successful sitcom, but once that series concluded, his visibility steadily declined. By the 1990s and 2000s, Hemsley lived increasingly reclusively, stepping away from public appearances and allowing rumors to replace facts about his personal life. Sherman Hemsley passed away on July 24, 2012. Zara Cully as Olivia, Mother Jefferson. George Jefferson's sharp-tongued, domineering mother, whose presence instantly added bite, humor, and generational tension to the series. As the series gained momentum and cultural importance, her appearances became increasingly limited. During this period, reruns of earlier episodes preserved her sharp delivery and comedic timing, while behind the scenes she struggled with breathing difficulties that made even daily activities exhausting. Zara Cully passed away on February 28, 1978. Franklin Cover as Tom Willis, the soft-spoken white husband in one of American television's earliest and most controversial interracial marriages. When The Jeffersons ended in 1985, the fall was swift and unceremonious. Unlike co-stars who transitioned into new television vehicles, Cover found himself rarely called. As television evolved, Cover aged out of contention, becoming another casualty of sitcom typecasting rather than scandal or personal collapse. He died there on February 5, 2006, at the age of 77 from pneumonia. Roxy Roker as Helen Willis, a composed, intelligent black woman navigating one of American television's earliest interracial marriages with dignity and quiet strength. In 1985, she divorced her husband, television producer Cy Kravitz, after discovering his infidelity. The separation fractured the family deeply, leaving lasting emotional scars. The strain coincided with Roker's declining health, as she quietly battled breast cancer away from public attention, continuing to work when her strength allowed. Roxy Roker died in Los Angeles, California, on December 2, 1995. Marla Gibbs as Florence Johnston, the sharp-tongued, boldly confident maid who became one of the show's most memorable characters. As Florence became a fan favorite, she openly challenged Hollywood's pay inequities and fought for creative freedom. Rather than accept typecasting, she expanded her career with projects like 227, where she also served as a producer, proving she could shape stories rather than simply perform them. By 2026, Marla Gibbs is 94 years old, a lasting symbol of resilience. Still making occasional appearances, Paul Benedict as Harry Bentley, the awkward, overly proper British neighbor whose stiff manners provided a quiet, comic contrast to George Jefferson's bluster. Behind the scenes, however, Benedict was carrying a private burden. He suffered from acromegaly, a rare hormonal disorder that affects bone growth and facial features. The condition influenced both his health and appearance, something he rarely discussed publicly, choosing instead to let his work speak for him. On December 1, 2008, Paul Benedict was found dead in his home in Aquinnah, Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Berinda Tolbert as Jenny Willis Jefferson, the gentle, soft-spoken daughter navigating one of sitcom television's most socially charged interracial marriages. Unlike many former sitcom stars, Tolbert's retreat from the spotlight was not driven by scandal, addiction, or public collapse. Rather than fight a system that no longer called, Tolbert chose self-preservation over reinvention, gradually stepping away from acting and public life altogether. As of 2026, Berinda Tolbert is 76 years old and lives far from Hollywood's glare. She rarely appears in public and has largely withdrawn from the entertainment industry. Damon Evans as Lionel Jefferson, He was 23 years old when The Jeffersons premiered in 1975, cast as Lionel Jefferson, the intelligent, socially conscious son of George and Louise Jefferson. Evans's departure from the series marked the first major fracture in his career. Rather than disappear completely, Evans redirected his life toward the stage. He became deeply involved in musical theater, appearing in Broadway and touring productions, including Dreamgirls and Ain't Misbehavin', where talent mattered more than image. By 2026, at 76 years old, Damon Evans lives largely out of the public eye. Isabelle Sanford as Louise "Wheezy" Jefferson, the moral center of the series, whose warmth, restraint, and quiet authority balanced her husband's volatility. In 1985, after 11 seasons on the air, The Jeffersons was abruptly canceled, and Sanford, along with the cast, learned the news not from the network, but from a newspaper. The absence of an ending mirrored Sanford's own career, celebrated late, yet repeatedly denied dignity by the industry even at its peak. Isabelle Sanford died 5 days later, on July 9, 2004, at the age of 86. The Jeffersons moved on up, but not all of them made it out unscathed. Behind the laughter were illnesses, broken careers, and quiet goodbyes. Which story stayed with you the longest? Leave a comment. And don't forget to follow for more untold Hollywood stories.